House of the Dragon episode 2 and 3 review. Let's go. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela Kelly-Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. Let's get right to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say I do apologize. I did post on the YouTube channel as well, was that I had a work trip this past week, and so we didn't really get a chance to really talk about House of the Dragon episode 2, but we're going to try to combine it all in one and everything, and we want to talk with every single one of you guys. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below. What did y'all think of episode 2 and episode 3 that just came out here? We're going to do a fresh recap real quick. Pretty much just self-explaining everything and all that stuff that happened in episode 2 real quick, and then we'll go more in depth on the preparations for war on this episode 3. All right, but let's get right to it. First and foremost, Angela, did you enjoy episode 2? What?
I did, because we directly see the aftermath of the terrible thing that happened.
Yeah, the aftermath of the son.
Yeah, the son, Jaehaerys. And I will say it's you get to see again the cleverness of Otto Hightower. So the Hand, he's been served 3 different kings. Yeah. And as diabolical as his plan was to use this boy as almost like a smear campaign propaganda against Rhaenyra, it was very smart of him to do that. This boy's, you can't prevent his death now. It happened. It's unfortunate. Let's use this to get the people on our side.
It was a very political move.
Very political move. And we're reminded of that, how political savvy Otto is. But we also get to see a little bit more of the rift between Otto and Aegon starting to grow. There's definitely insecurities Aegon has about being viewed a certain way.
Of course.
Because he holds the Conqueror's name.
Yeah, he does.
I think he
has a name to live up to.
Yeah, he definitely feels the pressure to it. So he may not make the smartest choices.
That's putting it lightly. Yeah.
And then, of course, at the end, we see the unfortunate battle between the twin brothers, Sir Eric's.
Yeah,
Eric and Eric.
Eric and Eric.
Eric with A and E.
Yeah, K and E. So the preparation of this was Sir Christian Cole sent him Sir Eric, and I gotta admit though, the balls on this guy, and I gotta also admit it was very smart. I'm not gonna admit, as much as I hated that move, I was all like, you mother F. I was just like, what that is so brilliant in its own right. It really is. It makes sense.
It makes sense, but it was clearly a suicide mission.
Yeah, of course. That's what I thought was kind of stupid of the Sir Eric of Team Green. I was kind of like, what the
he knew.
He knew, but and then even more so, Sir Christian Cole is so I feel like that he's just, and even when he entered that room, he was like, you need to clean your white cloak, and then I just feel like he just feels like he has to give off this anger that he has just built inside of him and everything, and that knowing that he can't say what he rightfully wants to say, and even more so because of the fact that it did end on his watch, and he can't tell the king that he was his mother was writing him and shit, and so you can't really say that, right?
I do agree. I think Sir Kristen.
Does the king know though? I don't think
anybody knows. Quite, but I do think Sir Kristen has a lot of the guilt and insecurities
of everything
pent up, and he's trying to, like you say, throw that off of him. That's why he goes to Sir Eric. He's this happened on your watch. You need to do this, make this right.
Yep, exactly.
So I think a lot of it's projection.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about Sir Kristen now being the Hand.
Yeah. So at the very beginning of this episode, the very beginning of this episode, we see a different change of formation, of Aegon really just coming in, the king, and changing everything. It was last episode. It was it was towards the end, and he's all like, Sir Christian Cole did what 100 old men, couldn't do, and he proved himself way more worthy to Otto Hightower, and even more so, that's your grandfather. Yes, he served 3 kings, but there's a reason for that, and I love how Otto really just creates this this really good speech. Yeah, I mean, this really great speech at the very end, and it's so influential. It's so nerve wracking, and it hits the heart of the king, because knowing I don't know if it's because it's grandfather, or because him and maybe Allison and maybe everybody knows the hard truth that he wasn't supposed to be king. And so like you get a sense of that a little bit, and he looks himself even more so in this episode. So we saw the ending of that. We saw how Rhaenyra, and it sucks too, because like in that very end of that scene where the violent scene happens, which is the only violent scene in that movie, which I was very, very excited for, to see what the plan, how it was going to unravel and everything. But the very end of that episode, you get to see kind of like, you can't tell who's who, and so then Rhaenyra can't really say like who's who at that point of time. And so in the end of the day, though, it's like the guilt of Sir Eric. He just couldn't. I mean, that was his twin brother. Even though I think the Team Black Sir Eric won, and really just had that victory and everything. But even at that, the victory had a cost. And I think that's why we transformed to this episode. Why Rhaenyra is so doubting everything.
I don't think
doubting. She's trying to avoid a war.
Yeah.
And she's I feel like she's doubting I guess avoiding. I guess it's a better term.
I think she's avoiding. I think the term is
she's avoiding war. Everything.
Well, because that's kind of like a forecast. Like the Sir Eric's death was like a forecast of like, if we go through with going into war, especially with dragons, setting dragons upon people, innocent people.
Yeah.
That's a forecast of what's going to happen.
Exactly.
That's a foreshadow, and that it's literally a house against a house. They're family,
Yeah.
They are family. Yeah. Like technically, Rhaenyra and got her brother and sister, and also so she doesn't want that, and she doesn't want that not just for her family, but on this large scale, because a lot of different houses, a lot of different people who are in the same houses and same times are going to be going to war all over King's Landing.
Of course.
So she definitely wants to avoid that. And I think she's just really trying to deal with the fact that everyone around her, all of her council, is like, no, you need to go to war right now. We need to act right now.
We need to make moves, because our enemy is getting closer. Our enemy is making these chess move pieces. And I guess this episode is so chess move like. It's so many pieces moving in here. There's so many different things that Rhaenyra is doing moves, but not violent moves, and not moves towards King's Landing or the realm, or just itself. What she is doing, though, what she did do a great move in this episode, was that since we're sticking character to character right now, was the fact that she ensured or secured a future for her house. Mm-hmm. She really did. I mean, that was smart. That was very smart
to send not only her own children,
but the dragon eggs and the two small little baby dragons that they got there that are still growing and everything, and they'll grow, and everything. And so I feel like that was a great move. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, though, it's like you cannot keep avoiding war. Mm-hmm. You cannot keep avoiding it. It's happening. And then even more so, like in shifting back to last episode as well, episode 2, was that Daemon, the aftermath of the cause that really did happen, because they got the wrong son,
and he basically cost an innocent person,
an innocent child,
technically his blood too, to die, and he knows how much it looks so bad for Rhaenyra. Like
it does, it really does.
If a lot of people were on her side for her claim, the news of this babe killer spreading throughout the kingdom without the great houses, it definitely affects her.
It does.
Her standing, and he knows that.
It does, and even more so, it sticks a needle to their house, because it's like no one wants to be a part of it. It sticks like it has this little stinking urge where, like, man, no one wants to be a part of that. It's like PR. It's like PR. It's almost like our day now. It's like no one wants to be associated with that, whatever scenario it's happening. But I mean, this is of course, this is a horrible death, a tragedy, and it's a huge oh, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be I don't want to be part of a king or queen killing children over that.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole series so far, first season included, I feel like a lot of these things are just misunderstandings after misunderstanding.
They are, and miscommunication. I said that. Yeah,
it is.
I said that earlier.
One after the other, that's just compounding and adding to this big snowball effect.
Yeah, it is.
Like that is war.
Yeah, and
it's like it started with the Princess Promise. It it also impacted the kids went with the eye.
Yeah.
Then Lucerys's death. Yep. And then Chaserys's death. Like it's a whole like thing of
misunderstandings, ongoing
miscommunications.
Yeah.
Things that just went wrong. It's just adding to, and that's just a very interesting take to see that. Like, I thought that was to watch it as an audience. You see all this,
you see it unfold. You really do,
and it's really interesting how they're writing. They're connecting, and obviously we haven't written the books. I think Kristen was the one who's read the books.
Yeah, read the books. Yeah,
so we don't know we can't compare it to the.
But we did see book. In the comparing it to the. I know we keep shifting back, ladies and gentlemen, but going back to Sir Eric, you did mention, and we did look it up, was that in the book they actually are both dying and they hold each other's arms, which is a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere where that was a different take in the book, and I was like, that's so sad.
Yeah,
it's sad regardless.
It's sad so regardless. But I think that would have been even such more. More miserable,
dramatic,
sadder, way more dramatic than it needed to be, and everything. But it still had a dramatic effect, though. It really did. Yeah. It still did
because I mean, you either liked one of the brothers or the other.
Yeah, or the other. And you were Team Black or Team Green,
and you saw the love they had for each other.
Yeah,
even at the end, neither one of them wanted to kill each other, but. They had the duty.
I kind of feel like they had miscommunication as well, because I wish he would have convinced the other brother to join Rhaenyra and something like that.
And again,
you know what I'm saying? Anything could have,
like their story was just how much there's conflict in family that exists. Yep. And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
And I'm so sad that their characters are no longer with us.
Yeah.
But moving into the episode 3, we start off,
Well, first and foremost, I do want to say that Damien, he actually went to exile and everything. So we saw that more in the last episode, the ending. We kind of like,
ran off.
Where's he going?
Yeah.
Like, where's he going? There's so many questions. Now that we find out where he's going in this episode, the beginning of this episode, we see him with Syrax. And he's on his dragon and everything. He goes to a castle, one of the biggest castles in the Seven Kingdoms. And this castle needs work, ladies and gentlemen. It needs work.
Have seen they got this leaks
in Game of Thrones, and it's still it's like, dude, it's like what 100 years. Like, come on,
it's
Does anybody ever work on this castle? That's all I'm saying. Like, does anyone ever fix anything up? I'm all like, why doesn't anyone fix anything?
But
up?
It's Harrenhal. He goes to
Harrenhal,
with the intent to capture it because I guess
for Rhaenyra. It's a key chess move. It really is in the realm.
The Riverlands.
Yeah, to take the Riverlands in the realm and everything, and then you get to see what house is bestowed upon there as well. And then also we saw a little rivalry between another house as well, kind of talking mess to another house, which was Foot. What's his name?
The Blacks.
No, when he goes to the house and it's the Foot
is the Heartstrong or
the Foot guy, the guy that likes feet.
Is it no, not Laris. The one that's kind of trying to get close to the queen with the foot.
Lord Larys.
Larys. Yeah, I was like, I know
Lord Larys. There is the Clubfoot. That's what it is. Lord Larys, the Clubfoots. We get to see how like the house, and that's the thing too. I kind of was like, how can everyone accept this death, knowing that it's like it's not a coincidence. Not everyone does, and so it's definitely his own family is questioning it and like do not recognize him, even though he sits on the council or sits closely into the king's ear and everything. They do not recognize that, and I'm actually, that's really good because I feel like that's going to bring context to such a situation maybe later in the season. Mm-hmm. So maybe he'll get his revenge by taking out the Clubfoot. I hope that happens because I do not like the Clubfoot whatsoever. But
I mean, there's a lot of characters on the green side that I don't necessarily.
I mean, most of them, but
but I do appreciate that because you know that was one thing that did upset me the first season was the death of Sir I think it's Harwin. The close person to the boys. Him and his father, the former hand, died in the fire. That was very tragic. I was like, no, know, but it comes to a reason of what happened. We obviously know who's behind it as an audience member.
Yep.
And we see it come surface again, and it's really cool, like you say, to see that not everyone believes that this guy wasn't part of his own family's murder. So we see, Damon essentially take Harrenhal, right?
Yeah.
He kind of
he takes it. He still has to talk to one of the lead commanders there, which have, I think it's about 10,000 people. I can't remember, but it was definitely he needs to talk to the lead commander there and to really take realm of everything. And then we also see Sir Kristen Cole really take off as well with a small little army, and we saw
to
Harrenhal as well. So again, a lot of moving pieces here, a lot of chess pieces that it's only going to collide. And I feel like we got a sneak peek at the very end of this episode as well. Was that it looks like war might be coming next episode?
Yeah. So the very end, I will say I appreciate the very last scene. Yeah. Where in her last ditch effort, Rhaenyra tries to see Alicent in person. Yeah.
That's very crazy because she wants to avoid war. She wants to avoid bloodshed. But I mean, come on, it's inevitable. It's just one of those things to where
Now I think that she has kind of exhausted that last resource.
She tried. I mean, she even said it was her duty to the realm to try to avoid this bloodshed. So
it's
to the families.
As hard, steadfast that Alicent is in, he changed his mind. The king changed his mind. He named Aegon on his last breath, his deathbed.
And that was Alicent.
And Rhaenyra almost believes it right up until Alicent slips about the prince that was promised. And now I think in that moment Alicent realized
she's quiet. She messed up. Her eyes are big. She's like, I fucked up.
She did. She messed up big time. And then Rhaenyra, if she had any doubt that Viserys changed his mind, she knew he did not.
Yep.
So now that they've had and then Alicent's kind of like, what was done is done. The piece is already in place. It's already in play.
Yeah.
Can't do anything to stop it now.
Yep.
Rhaenyra's going to be now on board for that.
Yep.
She's going to be like, you know what? All right, this is a last ditch effort. My resolve is renewed, and I'm just curious to see what the next move is going to be.
Yes, definitely.
So obviously we're going to revisit Harrenhal again, because Sir Kristen, I think where we last left off, they were on their way still there.
Yep. And the dragon, actually, they found them and everything. So knowing that, and then reported it straight to Rhaenyra and everything. So it's knowing that there's a lot of dragons roaming the realm and just really scouting ahead and trying to figure out where's everybody at in the world. Because, it's not like technology. You have to travel everywhere in order to find out what's going on. You got to hear whispers and everything. So I feel like that this whole move of chess pieces is really going to elaborate more, and it's really going to execute something in the next episode. I feel like it's going to execute the battle. And then even more so, past 2 episodes, I love this. I love this by the creators. I love this by the directors. I love this storytelling here of HBO, of Max and everything. One of the 2 things, what have we been seeing these last 2 episodes, the beginning? What are we?
Oh, you're talking about the intro? How it's like the embroidery?
Yes. So the last 2 episodes we've been getting different houses. Granted, the first one, the second episode was House Stark, but it was talking about Rhaenyra. It's talking about the Targaryens. It's talking about, and the thing that I really did love is that the creators of this show, the directors of the show, they introduce us to what the realm is suffering because of the rivalry. See bickering between houses. See rivalries just gone to bloodshed. Seeing how the Starks are they're busy fighting the wall. They're busy with preparing for the wall.
I did like that though.
Dude, that was awesome.
That was really
I'm not gonna lie. Seeing Winterfell again
and seeing the wall was pretty cool. I will admit that was pretty cool.
All I'm saying is that give us the Mad King series, and that'll be amazing.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. But again, that's future.
But I would also love to see series on
the House Stark,
like Jaehaerys. I'd like to see, Jaehaerys.
Yeah.
I would also like to see.
There's a lot to explore.
Yeah,
there really is. All different realms.
There's a lot.
And all different time periods.
The Mad King. I would love to see how Baratheon usurped him.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
And so Kingslayer and seeing young Jaime. Yeah, and they could get all young people who kind of look like him. That's the beauty of it. They can't get the same actors, of course, but they could get people that mimic them and everything. But anyways, going back into this series, House of the Dragon and everything, this episode is really great. I really did enjoy it a lot, and it just definitely has the preparations. It's preparations. These last 3 episodes, I'm kind of curious, how many war episodes do you think we're gonna get this season? Because I'm kind of undecided. I think we're gonna get 3. I know. Okay, so this episode was an hour and 7 minutes. The last one was about an hour and 5 minutes, and the one before that was about 59 minutes.
So this was episode 3 out of 8.
Correct?
Yeah. I would say
5 more episodes.
Probably. I would agree with you 3.
Yeah.
I do think there is gonna have to be some battle scene at least the next episode.
I feel like
we did get the foreshadow of the 2 houses at the very beginning of this episode having the conflict. They're like you know. We stand with Rhaenyra, or you know, that whole thing, and then we don't see battle, but you see the aftermath.
Yep.
And I feel like we are going to see a full-fledged battle with dragons pretty soon. So it has to be at least the next episode.
Okay.
But I'm like, please don't push it off to the last 3. I can't. My heart can't handle it.
Yeah. I got you.
But I do agree. I think it's going to be maybe 3 major battle scenes. I do think we are going to see at least 1 or 2 dragons die this season, which I'm not looking forward to.
I feel like we're going to have, and again, this is me jumping the gun here. I feel like we're going to end this season on a battle or like a dragon scene where a dragon's about to kill the other dragon, and then it cuts off.
HBO, you better not do that.
They're gonna do it.
Max,
that's how.
Not do that.
That's how they do it, and that's how it is, because that's how it pretty much ended last season. It's like definitely was a cliffhanger.
To be fair, the last season ended with the major shocking scene of Viserys' death.
Yeah,
and then Rhaenyra gets the news. So if it had like maybe ended right after that happened or right before, I would have been so mad. But I think the way they ended it, it like softened the blow of like, man, I have to wait a whole like few years for this.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. And even more so, we see Rhaenyra's once again attempt just to avoid the war, but she tried to go, and that's the thing. She had the balls on her to go to King's Landing, knowing that she could have been slaughtered and massacred in front of everybody.
I think that's how much she still trusts Alicent is on the same page as her.
I mean, they really are, but it's like so much miscommunication and everything. Yeah. So it just.
But again, I really do want to see the next. I think at least the next episode are going to see more chess moves and a lot more conflict, because a lot of these characters have to intercept. Daemon has to intercept with Kristen Cole and his party.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the next episode.
So we actually in that war scene right after the houses really collide with each other, we do see a kind of a glimpse of the Dance of Dragons has finally take place off screen, because we didn't see it. We just see war shed. We see like just looks like fire, a little bit of fire or something at the when the blade is in the neck of one of the kids and everything, one of the young lads there, and so you really get a sense to where like, okay, they keep giving us these glimpses. I cannot wait to see this war. I can't wait.
I'm not ready for it.
Is it going to be better than the Battle of the Bastards? Because that's got to be the best war scene, one of the best war scenes in Game of Thrones. For me, that's got to be my favorite war scene in Game of Thrones realm.
That one was pretty much the whole episode, right?
I
would think
I want it to be like that.
Like a whole episode of just
battle. I want to see that. I don't think we will, but
I don't think we will, because there's so much political involvement in this one.
Yes.
I don't think that we're going to have a whole episode dedicated.
I want it, but I don't think we're going to get it.
Yeah, I just don't think it's possible, just because there's so much, like you say, chess pieces, gameplay. I just don't think that would be great, and I would love to see Daemon partner in that battle. Obviously, there's going to be an epic battle between Daemon and Aemon.
Yeah.
Won't the eye? At some point, and I'm really hoping we see the conclusion of that and not have to wait another couple of years max.
Yeah, most definitely. And then we get, I really love how everything's getting set up. Again, we go back to where like it's next episode looks great. Next episode looks fantastic. And I'm excited for this. So episode 2, what do you give this rating real quick? We'll end on that note. Episode 2 and 3. So what are you gonna give for episode 2?
Episode 2. Oof.
So episode 2, I'm going to give it a solid 6.
I would agree with you, the 6.
Solid 6 out of 10.
It wasn't too much happening. It was a lot of setup. I think these first few episodes are just really going to be all set up, and the magic's going to happen.
But the pacing is good. I like the pacing, yeah.
It's just a lot, like, it's, characters having to go here, moves being made.
I'm just so excited. I'm excited, and I'm so, like, how do you call it? What do you always say? I'm impatient.
You're impatient.
I'm very impatient, and I cannot wait to see this war. I hope this war is an hour and a half. This better be the longest episode in the season because the next episode is going to be war, and it better be the longest episode. That's all I'm saying. It better be.
I don't think maybe 5 would be not in the next one. 5 would probably be like the war scene.
I just can't believe we only have 5 more episodes left. Oh my god, it's so quickly. But so I'm gonna give this out 6 as well.
I would say for episode 2 is 6, and then for episode 3 probably a 7 because the stakes are raised just a little bit higher.
I'll do you one better. I'm going to give this a solid 7.8. I really did enjoy it. It's almost an 8 for me. This is really great. I really did enjoy these moments between Allison and Rhaenyra. You get to see even more of just really her duty to the realm. And she's acting on more like a queen / king or whatever you want to call it, more to the realm than her predecessor or her opponent. You know, it's definitely
because Aegon's really fueled at this point by a need for revenge. And
but not even that though.
Justice.
He just feels like, and that's the thing too, is that like the auto voice that said you're not the king, and even more so, he wants to prove himself because he puts on the armor and then he's like, maybe I'll ride another day because he looks at himself and he's like,
he said he's wearing the armor, he has the crown, and he also has the blade, and so
Rhaenyra's blade, by the way,
so it's hard, you just know he's going to war for the wrong reasons,
of course,
and I agree. I think Rhaenyra is like more for the good of the realm. She's been tasked with and feels this need to keep the realm intact because they are right. As soon as dragons are entered into play,
it'll be their own destruction.
It will, and she doesn't want to roll over ash.
I agree. All right, guys. You give it episode.
I'll give episode 3 a solid 7.
Okay, I give it a 7.8, guys. There you go. And as always, guys, be sure to like, share, subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page, and let us know in the comments down below, what did y'all think of episode 2 and 3, guys? Let us know in the comments down below, what did you guys think of this House of the Dragon? I can't believe we only have 5 more episodes, but next episode looks so damn good. It looks great. I hope the whole episode is war. I don't think so, but maybe, you never know. Any man could dream. And so like it definitely there's definitely hope in here for the next episode to be, and I wish it will be. I don't know if it is, but I wish it will be the longest episode of the season, at least the war scenes. But yeah. Oh, Kristen, which is part of the Alamo City Movie Talk crew, she just texted saying, great episode, big battle next episode. Absolutely love that the scene between Rhaenyra and Alicent, things are progressing really well and the pacing is fucking fantastic. I'm glad they're not just rushing through events in the book and fleshing them out more.
Yes.
Couldn't said it better myself.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's there's not a lot has happened these first few episodes.
Yeah.
But it is gonna be set up for something big. It's gonna happen soon.
Excited. All right, thank you so much, guys. Once again, as always, like, share, subscribe. I'm Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela Takarian.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. See you at the movies. Latest.